this is Hunter S. Thompson who's helping me, and we're making this short video to help you edit between your writing assessments. So the important thing that you have to remember is to keep your reader with you the whole time. What you want to do is to recreate the experience, not to describe the experience. So recreating it means show, and describing it means tell. There are some easy ways of doing this. It is a delicate thing to do. You have to watch it carefully. But basically, you be the judge. If you were reading it, would you get bored? If you were listening to it, would you get bored? So yes, we tell you that you have to use details, and you do, but the trick is knowing what to leave in there and what to leave out. That's the difference between merit and achieved, and it's the difference between excellent and merit, depending on how well you do it. So the things to remember are, number one, voice. It's got to sound like you talking. If it doesn't sound like you talking, then the reader will lose interest and drop out. So you have to talk the way that you actually talk to your friends. So, for example, you wouldn't say, I grasped someone's arm, because it would make you sound stupid. And if you say that in your story, it's exactly the same. You've got to talk the way that you really talk. So the trick in editing there, read your work and think, if there's any line there that you wouldn't say to your friends, don't say it in your writing either. The second thing to think about is using lots of detail. So you're trying to recreate the experience, so you really need to put in the things that you can see and hear and smell that are going on around you. So, for example, if you were riding a dirt bike and you were sliding out towards a cliff, you'd be scared, so you would be able to smell everything and hear everything. Your senses would be really amped up. You'd be able to smell the petrol, be able to smell diesel, or those kind of smells, and the dirt, the smell, all of that would get imprinted really sharply because you're a bit scared. So those are the things you have to put in. The things to leave out, if you think about a boring person, and everyone will know one, they're the people who lock you in conversation and tell you everything, and you're shifting from foot to foot trying to get away. That's the same in writing. Don't put every single thing in, and we'll come to that soon, but you've got to keep the story moving forwards. Take out the adjectives you don't really need. If you take soot covered out, you don't need those two words, because the flames and the verb eating are doing the work. We get it because the flames are eating the wood. Of course there's soot. The description is much simpler and clearer without it. This isn't very interesting to read because the writer is telling us too much and it's not very clear what's happening. Also, it doesn't really sound like a real person talking, so you want to try and keep it tight and crisp. For example, I bring it towards my mouth and pop it in. That's a point of view problem as well too. Nobody talks like that. You don't say, I bring it towards my mouth and pop it in. You'd say, I pop it into my mouth. Once you've taken out those two adjectives, the verb froze is very strong. Use verbs to show people by what they do. When you use the verb huddled, it's much stronger than saying they were scared. And without the other adjectives, the word white works really well. You really want to avoid lines like this. For one, no one talks about sky blue eyes, and you might use the word fixated if you said something simple like, I was fixated on the dog in the distance. But no one believes this, no one talks like this. So keep it simple. In case you're feeling sorry for this person, their story works out really well after this, and this is a typical first paragraph thing. You're feeling your way into the story and you haven't really started yet. After this, she really gets going and it turns into a pretty good merit. You can also use colour and weather to create a certain effect. So in the second part of this piece, the freezing wind and the slamming door are creating all the action and all the feeling in the piece. Also, you want to keep the story moving forward so you can get rid of the pieces that you don't need. The other thing is to get people really involved in your story, to try and recreate the experience, to let the reader know what you were doing and what was happening. You have to show people by what they do. So if someone's angry, don't just say, don't just say they were angry. What you have to do is have them slam doors or bang windows or do something. Or another good way is to have them say something. What they actually say is very important, but you've just got to be careful not to do every bit like he said, she said, and every single thing that happens. You've got to be selective about the things that count. Be a good dog hunter. We're nearly finished. So, yeah. Right, this is goodbye from Hunter. The things that count are the things that you actually pay attention in your memory. And you just have to be selective about the choice things that people say. So probably only 1 or 2 lines per person. Once you've done that, once you've finished writing, before you get up to the punctuation errors, your first step is to take out all the bits that don't keep the story moving forwards. Right, well done and good luck. There's more to follow.